everyone, welcome back to Shelby on Safari. I hope you're well and nice and cozy because we are settling in to celebrate Halloween by looking at the best spooky animal out there. Over the course of this series, we've looked at bats, we've looked at spiders, ravens, and wolves, but I've saved the best for last because we are looking at the black cat. We're going to be looking into what is their association with Halloween and answering the question, are black cats unlucky or are they lucky? And to do that, I got help from not just one, but 3 of my amazing black cats, and I'm completely unbiased, by the way. To answer those questions, though, I thought we would have to dig a little bit deeper into ancient history by looking into how cats became domesticated in the first place, and looking at their reputation from cultures around the world leading up to modern day. But first, before we do, if you're new here and you want to learn all about animals in the wild or in pop culture, be sure to hit that subscribe button and make that bell go ding so you can be the first to see all the new content. Now, let's get started. The process of domestication from the wild cat into the household cats that we know and love today is a gradual one, and it takes time. Kind of like carving the perfect Halloween pumpkin, which, by the way, I have 3 of, and I need to get started carving them straight away. Ooh, and roast pumpkin seeds. Ooh, they're so good. Anyways, back to cats. We know, though, that agriculture started in the Middle East about 11,000 years ago. At this point, when humans stayed in one place and grew a lot of crops, that attracted rodents, birds, and mammals, because they got some free food. However, this also attracted the attention of wild cats, for they like to eat rodents and small birds, and they also got shelter from humans as well. And eventually, they became reliant upon humans for providing the food in the form of growing crops, which attracted rodents, and shelter. So it was a win-win situation. Being a cat in ancient Egypt was quite the life. You would have loved it, Tammy. Not only were you seen as a divine being, so you technically couldn't even be owned by a mere human mortal. Oh no. Only the king, who was a semi-divine being, could even consider owning a cat. However, the cats had protection, having their divine status. In fact, there were 3 divine entities associated with felines. Maftet, who was the goddess of judgment, justice, and execution. Sounds a lot like my cat Kiana, who, by the way, is named after the Hawaiian moon goddess. Then there was Bastet, who is the goddess of the home, the hearth, childbirth, women's secrets, a lot of different things, and quite important. Followed by Sekhmet, the warrior goddess, who happened to also be the goddess of healing. Cats were so important to ancient Egyptians that the export of them was banned. But that didn't stop the cheeky Greeks and Phoenicians. And Herodotus actually mentioned that Egyptians valued the lives of cats above their own. They truly respected them. In fact, they even mummified them and placed them in coffins to prepare them for their journey into the afterlife. But sadly, not everybody in the ancient world respected cats as much as the Egyptians. One of the earliest connections between cats and witches seems to come from the ancient Greek goddess of death, destruction, and witches, Hecate. Whereas the Egyptians used cats to help with their rodent problem, the ancient Greeks actually used polecats. Cats were therefore largely kept as curiosities by the ancient Greeks. In fact, the playwright Aristophanes coined the phrase, "the cat did it," in assigning blame, which holds true in our house because it's often, Maui did it, because he's the troublemaker, isn't he, Tammy? Yeah, he is. In fact, where's Maui now? Probably up to trouble as well. However, the Romans had a different relationship with cats. Beginning about 5th century BC, when they seem to have made their way from Egypt into Rome, they were gaining in popularity. Because at this point, the Romans actually used snakes and weasels to control the rodent population. And if any of you have come across weasels, you know they can be a bit smelly. So eventually, cats became a bit more popular to keep for rodent control because they were a lot less smelly. Romans associated the cat with liberty, and they actually had free range, quite literally, of the temples. They were free to go anywhere. Cats were also associated with deities. In this regard, oh, okay. Hold on a second. Sorted. Cats were also associated with deities. In Rome, the goddess Diana turned into a cat to escape an evil dragon named Typhon. Sacrifices were even made to cats at both weddings and funerals, in the hopes that the cats would provide protection to the participants and their homes. And of course, the Romans were extraordinary at traveling and conquering the world thanks to their Roman legion, and cats played their part too. For Roman soldiers, realized that cats could provide not only companionship, but also protection for their food stores. Therefore, it seems that Romans certainly played a part in bringing the domesticated cat to different parts of the globe, including here in the UK. So now let's take a deeper look into black cats in particular. We'll start off with our friends the Celts because, Tammy, this one stars you, my friend. Well, kind of. Tammy has a sweet and gentle disposition, unless of course you're a cucumber or a chip. Whereas the cat she, a creature of Celtic mythology, would definitely cause a bit of trouble, especially if you were a dead person. Because, supposedly, they could steal the soul of a recently departed individual before the gods could claim it if they passed over the body of a person before they went and got buried. Therefore, watches were put in place to protect the corpse of anyone that was waiting to be buried, just to make sure they could keep their soul. Sounds terrifying. You wouldn't do that, would you, dude? No. He's a good lad. The 1560s, and the Middle Ages in general, were a hard time to be a cat. Long gone were the days of being worshipped and adored in ancient Egypt, and even the simplicity of being blamed for things in Greek comedies and tragedies. Those were innocent, happy times. The Middle Ages were dark and full of fear, for the belief was strong that cats, black cats in particular, were witches in disguise. William Baldwin, in 1561's publication Beware of the Cat, indeed states this. And there's a tale from Lincolnshire, England, in the 1560s that tells of a father and son out for a walk on a moonless night. They came across a black cat that crossed their path, and they decided to pelt it with rocks. Jerks. They threw rocks and sticks and stones at this poor cat until it ran into the house of a lonely old woman who was recently accused of being a witch. The next day, the father and son duo saw this old woman, and she was limping and bruised. So they made the assumption that, of course, that she was the black cat in disguise running out amok at night. The association of cats with witchcraft and magic may have lingered from their ancient roots, being associated with the deities of long ago, and thus lingering over time in the subconscious of humans. Cats are virtually silent when walking thanks to their soft pads, unless of course you're Maui sleeping upstairs and you hear a human open up a can of virtually anything downstairs in the kitchen. You can certainly hear him running down the stairs, a big couple of thuds going down the steps, and quickly followed by a cry for "please feed me, human." secret of nature when they're not sleeping all day. Which, by the way, in case if you haven't seen the video on why cats sleep all day, a bit about cat genetics, and why they like boxes so much, click the link up here. Of course, the Middle Ages were full of fear and distrust, and so black cats got a bad reputation. And this reputation made its way across the pond. For the early Puritan settlers rejected anything that had to do with the devil or witchcraft. And thus, that all landed back on the poor black cat. Even still to this day in the US, a lot of people consider it bad luck if a black cat crosses your path. But that's not true all around the world. In fact, in Germany, if the black cat crosses your path from right to left, it is still considered bad luck. However, if it's from left to right, it's considered good luck. And in Scotland, if a black cat shows up on your property, it's a sign of prosperity to come. In England, it's often considered if a black cat is coming towards you, that is good luck as well. There's so many different types of superstitions, and over the course of time, it has been blurred and distorted as what's good luck and what's bad luck. However, my favorite tale has to come from good old King Charles I. Now, this guy seems to have been quite the hoot. He was highly superstitious, and when people ask if you could have, someone from history for dinner or something like that, I would love to have him be one of my dinner guests, just to hear some of his cracking good stories. For he was a firm believer in black cats being lucky. He had a black cat himself, and he was so convinced that this black cat brought him good luck that he had it guarded around the clock. Sadly, on the day of the black cat's death, he was obviously distraught, not just because his pet cat had died, but his good luck had run out. Coincidentally enough, the next day he was arrested by Cromwell's troops and was beheaded 2 years later. I'll let you be the judge. It is interesting, though, that a study done in 2013 based in Colorado found that black cats did take longer to adopt. It didn't matter if they were kittens or adult cats. They took a lot longer to adopt than other colored cats. Is it because the superstitions of black cats being associated with evil and witchcraft still linger in the subconscious today? Or is it because they simply don't photograph well? There are many different theories, but one thing's for sure. Cats make incredible companions. Yes, they're fiercely independent, and the Romans, rightly so, associated the cat with liberty. Don't necessarily think that a black cat brings bad luck, or good luck for that matter. It's all a matter of your perception from a certain point of view. I can say things have certainly gone well since having Tammy, Maui, and Kiana in my life. Many joyous cuddles, buddy. And I wouldn't give them up for the world. If you want to hear more about spooky animals, be sure to check out my playlist from my previous videos just up here and in the description down below. Tomorrow on Halloween, I will also be doing an Instagram live, so be sure to follow me on Shelby on Safari so you can join in and listen to some more spooky tales and see what I did with those pumpkins. If I did indeed carve them or just bake pumpkin seeds and let the husband do the carving. If you learned something new though in today's video, be sure to leave it a thumbs up and let me know in the comments below, what is your favorite black cat in pop culture? Hands down, I'm gonna have to go with Salem from Sabrina the Teenage Witch. He was certainly a hoot. Thanks for watching, guys, and we'll see you later. Bye!